Hey, Eve. Hi, Eve. Hi, Eve. Hi, Eve.
Hi.
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 Okay, never mind. He's not in here. He's in like the back.
Who?
No, you can't.
Okay, I went through hell for like 6 months.
All right, Bones. Okay, old man.
It's okay.
Somebody get his wheelchair.
Right,
Things to grow weed in there, Mumbles?
just like have a seat
not
in
that I
that
could
chair,
find.
or whatever
Okay.
chair you want, I guess.
I'll stand. I
Okay.
realize I'm in a skirt, and I don't want to go put on pants.
That's fine.
This is the first time I've been able to wear a skirt in a while. It's pretty nice.
Okay. What's your vision for the BCSO?
The vision is to kind of upkeep the culture that it already is. You know, people want to be able to deal with us, and we have pretty good level heads. We know when to do our job. We know when to have fun. Honestly, future vision, long-term vision is to get probably a little bit more people so that we can have an active patrol up here.
Who do you think you agree with the most in the BCSO, and who do you think you disagree with the most?
Honestly, probably Cassie I disagree with the most because he took away my Crocs for Rangers. I disagree with that. I think people should be able to wear jorts sometimes, whereas he is a very big stickler for the uniform. I don't know. I feel like I agree. I'm sort of the person where I can agree with everyone to a certain point. I feel like there are compromises. Can't really disagree.
You have to make one thing illegal that's not drugs or a gun. What do you pick?
Loud engines going over 140 miles per hour.
That's already illegal.
Actually, like, you know, they're going to jail for life. Think about a smooth 35 all the time.
Yeah. Are you saying, like, is this a noise thing or is it a speed thing?
Both.
Anyway.
I'm gonna do a story time. People show up to your things more. We have been putting on a lot of little, you know, Friday meeting events. And it's almost like people show up more because it's either you back it, you back someone else and something that they're doing, more people gravitate towards it. Whereas before, it would only been like 1 or 2 people, whereas now it's like 5 to 6 because they want to be there and they want to support. Seems like people are more supportive of whatever you're saying. But what was the question again? I got sidetracked in my own brain. My brain went 90 miles per hour. Phone. People also treat the same. It's
Can everybody shut up, please? People are interviewing and we can hear you in there. Please move if you're going to talk while people are interviewing.
It's like maybe you should do it in the office or something, you know? Just fucking do an interview where people have to come and fucking talk. Go to the fucking office.
It's just Jimbo thing. That they might have double checked a couple of times. I'm just waiting for the door to close.
You're good. Sorry about that.
Maybe sometimes they weren't actually double checking, but I think in the department between not being high command and being high command, it hasn't really changed much. I think that maybe it was just not really.
Hey guy, hey, really sorry to interrupt.
Stumbles.
I brought some gifts.
Stumbles.
I brought some gifts.
This isn't the time.
Just there
Get
they
out of
are.
here!
Okay, I brought some gifts. Okay, they're for you guys.
For sheriff?
Get out of here, Stumbles.
See you later, Stumbos.
Is you trying to bribe you for sheriff?
Oh, well, I also didn't answer the worst thing about high command.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good. Having to deal with people who have a certain vision, but don't understand the process to get to that vision and won't give it time. That's the worst thing about high command.
Okay.
They don't want to deal with the journey. But yeah, that's probably the worst thing. Pretty nicely from Bones and Cassidy. They went through all their hardship and now we just kind of have to deal with it every once in a while.
How you gonna handle like cardinal sins, I suppose, being committed by people in your department? Things like you know, putting cereal in the microwave, eating ice cream with a fork on a plate.
Girl, we have Anita.
kind of stuff.
She eats warm cereal. You know, they want to do that as long as at the end of the day they're safe. You know what I mean? It might to me be disgusting, but real good. I'm a real big supporter of the girls. If the girls do something, they're never wrong.
I like that. That's cool.
Backed Helen a lot, gosh. We've been through it.
All right. Well, Aspen, we appreciate your time. We'll be in touch if we want to move forward with this. Okay.
Okay, bye guys. Have fun. If you need
Bye.
anything, I'll be out there. Okay, bye.
Goodbye.
I love you guys.
All right. Could you
Love you.
I'm Eve.
You guys didn't respond to that.
I'm married.
I'm married.
I don't think it was like that though. I think it was like.
Oh boy.
Okay, I'll be doing that here soon.
Sit, stand.
Are you good?
Sing if you want to.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hello, Radich.
How's everyone?
Doing well, doing well.
Is this what you're wearing for the interview?
Oh,
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, full suit and Timbs is the choice.
We're just. I don't think those are Timbs.
Are they not?
No, I don't. I think they're.
No, they're just dress shirts. You have that same.
Arcadia, you're
kinda-
really ruining it,
black
huh?
dress shirt?
Ruining the
Yeah,
day.
fucking the
Whispered that
vibes.
to you, and I just love that you verbally crashed down in front of everybody.
Hey, how's it going?
Got a couple questions, okay?
Yeah, of course.
We ask. First question: are you nervous?
Oh, sure. I have a little bit of nervousness. I'd like to retain the position, and obviously, hopefully, prove that to the mayor and his staff here and the panel here today. So, I think it's natural to have a little bit of nerves.
all right.
Okay.
So, do you think you are the best candidate at the moment to be sheriff?
Obviously, it would be weird if I was in this room and I didn't think that I was the best candidate. I feel like I'd be wasting everyone's time. I'm currently in the position that we're speaking of, just like others who may have been through the room that have been in the position. And I know, obviously, Bones is in here. He was sheriff, and even under sheriff or another position in high command still isn't equivalent to being the sheriff and making the overall decision at the end of the day that not everyone's going to be happy with. I've done those things, so yes, I would say that I'm probably the best candidate for the job, considering I'm already in the position and running the daily things. Yeah.
Or let's say you are the sheriff and Mumbles asks you to fire your undersheriff or a member of your command for some obscure reason that you don't agree with.
They called me a little bitch.
They called him a little bitch.
Well, obviously, I would have to hear out both parties to begin with and have a discussion with them. The demanding for a high command member, especially my undersheriff, the person that I trust with the department, if I were, unable to run it, would be a pretty big ask for something like that. I would obviously stand up to Mumbles and tell him that I don't think that's what's best for the department, the morale, or the direction of the department. And that if, he's going to remove the undersheriff, like I said, the person I trust in my stead, then, may as well remove me as well. And I'd stand up for that person.
You have to make one thing illegal. That's not a substance or like a gun. What do you pick?
Performance parts for cars.
Like all of them? You want to make them all illegal?
Yeah,
Blaine
you
County?
can't. Yeah, all cars have to be stock in Blaine County. Yeah, you can't drive a tuned car.
Oh, brother.
You're gonna start a war.
Driven a stock car? They're terrible.
I was actually thinking about doing legislation where you could only drive a B class or lower and to cut down on fuel emissions.
Okay.
It's not even for the inconvenience of the police department of having to chase fast vehicles or anything. It's because these people do 150 to 190 miles an hour up and down every street possible in the county. And it's only going to be a matter of time until they T-bone somebody or run over a pedestrian, hit somebody trying to have a nice bicycle ride, and send them to the stratosphere. So, just dangerous. It encourages very, very poor driving.
Would you do anything differently over the next 3 months?
Yeah, I would definitely move on things faster and sit on the fence less. I'd have more confidence to make the decisions and know that, I know how to hold myself accountable for those decisions more, as well as navigate some of the feedback and maybe in some of the negative energy that'll come from them. It was harder for me to do that at first. Obviously, I had to kind of grow, like I said, very quickly into the position. But now that I have my feet under me and a foundation, I definitely think that moving quicker, being more decisive, and sticking up for the department a little bit more when it comes to political things and all that. Also, a big difference with having a mayor's office and deputy mayors and everything that I would have daily or at least bi-weekly communication with and everything. Not to put down the last administration, but it was towards the end of that, and I don't think there was a lot of folks around. We didn't have a whole lot of guidance or ability to communicate with the mayor or his office, and I think that would make things a lot different and a lot easier to work with.
How many confirmed kills do you have?
3. You mean in Los Santos, right?
How do you feel about that?
I mean, look, I don't want to kill people.
Do you see yourself as a hero?
No.
Why not?
to be frank, that's kind of cringe if you come here and see yourself as a hero. I don't think that.
What?
Yeah,
Is it cringe?
Yeah, hero is not the word for it. There's a lot of situations you're putting them at a pretty steep hill to climb in society. You're charging them with some pretty big crimes. You are definitely disaffecting a lot of people's lives when you arrest them. To say like that I'm a hero while simultaneously making some people feel like I may have ruined their lives would be kind of weird to me. Again, it's a job. I do that job. I have no problem with doing it, but it definitely takes a certain individual, and one that would call themselves a hero would concern me. I'll put it that way.
Raditz, do you have any questions for us?
I mean, if I do retain the position, I know that we've spoken before, and I would like to speak again in the future about your plans as well for Grapeseed. I know that early on, before there was even an election that you spoke of running for, that you were pushing for, lack of a better term, a township or a separate government and a separate community in Grapeseed.
What are you talking about?
You idealized it, I'd say. Idealized it
sure,
as it was something that we had discussed in whimsical passings. In whimsical passings only. Yeah, I never. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, go on.
Never ever recognized any sort of weird titles or anything like that. Never. Okay. That was never. Yeah.
No, never.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's really my only question. Is we also see ourselves as a stakeholder in that community, so we'd like to make sure that that community receives the services it deserves from us as well. So,
Raditz, thank you for coming. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. Appreciate everyone's time.
We'll be in touch if we want to move forward to the next steps, okay?
All right, sounds good.
Thank you,
Have a good
Raditz.
one. Thank you.
Thank you, Raditz. Let's take a quick 5 minutes, guys. Go.
Duma, you've been having a good shift?
Yep, it's been a little bit crazy, but that's all right.
Y'all ready for the next one?
You want me to go get it?
Yeah.
Duncan, is that what you're wearing? Yeah. You're wearing that for, it's an interview, right? All right, cool.
Hey, what do I do with a grenade?
Howdy. You distribute that to everyone in the room?
Of course.
Make sure to include all the important documents you may need.
What the hell is this about to be, Duncan?
All right, so run us through this.
It's a photo of me that I had taken way back. December of last year, because me and Cornwood had a dream to make the BCSO. On the next page, you can see my availability. I'm sure that covers every time you would possibly need a sheriff around. You can see my references. There's Mackenzie Hayes, and there's a holographic photo there. When you kind of twist it, you kind of move it back and forth. You can see that it kind of looks like it's animated.
I see that. Yeah.
Pretty cool. Eric is also on my references because I used to work very closely with him in the LSPD. He let me skip chain of command to talk to him.
Oh, did he?
This is true. He was the assistant chief of police for a time.
I was allowed to go straight to him, and I took advantage of that a lot.
Yeah, he did. That is for sure.
Leonardo Slacks was a reference. He's batshit now, but pre-crash out, he was pretty good. And he told me like a year ago, probably around this time, you'd make a great sheriff. And then Ruth got mad at me for saying that. Good times. They turn you on. They give you back shots constantly. They don't let you move.
They give you what?
They punch you in the back repeatedly, and they don't let you turn around.
We call those cheap shots.
They punch you in the back?
We call those cheap shots, not back.
Yeah, they take cheap shots, okay?
Back shots.
Okay, please rephrase that in the future.
But I will say this: a 27% win rate is okay. It's 1/4 of the time I'm winning. I won't be facing a lot of cheap people who use cheap tactics.
Yes, you won't.
Yes, you will.
And I'll use the cheap tactics back.
Duncan, what do you do?
I'm a deputy for the BCSO.
What do you do?
Do you want me to give you the Tom answer or you want to give you the Peter answer?
Just answer.
Oh, I do deputy work. I get in the passenger seat and I do the comms on the radio while Hayes drives into a wall.
Because you normally don't drive. You're like the call out guy.
They don't let me drive.
Why?
I don't know.
Do you know how to drive?
I feel like we started this interview in a really normal, you know.
I got a question for you.
What's up, Mumbles?
You've been a cop since the reopening of the city, right?
Roughly, 3 days in, Slacks pulled me in and was like, "I need you to be a cop."
Okay.
You can say a lot of stuff to me right now, and it won't phase me.
Is that emotional intelligence, or is that just not giving a fuck?
I give a fuck.
I think it's the trauma from the 27% win rate. Then just you get beat down so much like that.
It's okay. I bought the DLC and he's cracked, so I'm actually really good at it now.
Too many back shots changes him in.
I see.
Yeah,
I didn't want to go to the back shots because I felt like it was too much of a gift. But like I was.
I did the pay to win method.
You had to pay for back shots?
Duncan, you got any questions for us before we end this?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
When do I start?
Oh, Duncan.
Well, actually, nobody's asked that question yet.
It's a good question.
Probably next week, if you're selected. Yeah.
What's the it's a percentage higher or lower than my win rate?
27%.
Not much is lower than that, so you got a higher percentage. I'd say, yeah.
All right. Well, I'll see y'all next week when I start being the sheriff.
See you, Delver.
See you later, Duncan.
I just called you Delver. D-Dog.
That was a crazy Freudian slip. Delver, you're nothing like him. Don't worry.
So sorry.
You're nothing like him at all, Delver. Don't worry.
It's so rude, Bones. Holy shit.
Jesus fucking Christ.
What does that mean?
We didn't ask why his hair went from blonde to white like overnight. No one asked that.